Hey kids, welcome to Boot Key Harbor Cruisers Net here. We're going to be live streaming
departure, so let's go ahead and move on to
the Cruisers Net right now. Sorry I missed just the first minute or two. Enjoy.
Time. Good morning, Rick. What do you have for us today?
Good morning, Kevin. About the discussion we had yesterday, we all think we have a pretty good harbor here and marina, but some of us feel that it could be improved upon a bit. So we're going to have a meeting to discuss that, how we can improve things here in the harbor. And we're going to have that meeting this afternoon at 5:30 at Burdines. So you can meet us at the dinghy dock at 5:30, and we'll proceed from there and have a discussion. And hope to see several people there. Over.
Very good, Rick. Thanks for that. I'm trying to write that down. So what time is the meeting going to commence at Burdines again, please?
We will meet at the dinghy dock there at 5:30.
Okay, 5:30 at the Burdines dinghy dock. Is that correct? Over.
That is correct.
Willie, get down. Get down,
Okay,
you're blocking the view.
good. Meeting tonight at Burdines about our happy home here in Boot Key Harbor.
Willie, get down.
Very good. Any other announcements? Come now, please.
Mendocino Queen.
Good morning.
Willie,
Kate,
get
right?
down. Here, come on, get down
Yes,
here.
it's Kate. Good morning, everyone.
There we go.
We're going to have a Sunday brunch
Sorry,
potluck this Sunday at 10:30 up at the Tiki Hut. So start to think about what you might want to bring to share on Sunday and put on your calendar. Thank you.
All right, get the Sunday brunch going again. Sounds good. 10:30 Sunday brunch at the Tiki. Okay, we got any other announcements? Come now, please. Interlude, go.
Yes, two announcements. First, crafts today up at the marina. It's Thursday, so 1 o'clock. Bring your crafts up and sit, enjoy, and visit. Break. And SSCA lunch, again, tomorrow is Friday, so 11:45 at the Hurricane is the SSCA luncheon. Please look on the Facebook page for Boot Key Harbor. I've put a sign-up sheet there. Excuse me, number of people and the name of your boat. And if not, tomorrow after the net, I will stand by and find out who's going. So thank you very much and hope to see you there.
Very good. SSCA lunch, Facebook page sign up, and tomorrow interlude standing by on 6-8 for final attendance. Very good. Any other announcements? Come now, please.
Three Penny Opera.
Good morning, Addison. Go ahead.
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Harbor. It's Addison on board Three Penny Opera, and Monday evening at 7 p.m., I'm going to be conducting a
That's
let's
Three
call
Penny
it a
Opera right there.
VHF-inar. It'll be a presentation on one of the VHF channels about going to Cuba. We'll cover the basics of how to get from point A to point B, some of the new rules as they pertain particularly to American cruisers, and then we'll follow it up with some questions and answers. In the past, we've always used channel 7.2, but I'll announce the channel on the morning of the presentation. So plan to tune in Monday evening, February 25th, 7 p.m., right from the comfort of your own cockpit.
Thank you for that, Addison. So 7 p.m. Monday, Cuba, how to. Sounds good. I'll probably participate in that. You're going to have everybody tune in to say 6-8 around 7 and then switch? Is that how it's going to work?
No, I'll announce the channel. What I typically do, Kevin, is I listen to, I put my radio on scan for a couple of days to make sure there's not a lot of fishing traffic, and then I pick a channel that is relatively clear, and then I'll announce that on the morning of.
Very good. Sounds good. All right, any other announcements? Come now, please.
Double trouble.
Morning, Jim. How you doing over there?
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Harbor. Okay, the garden is looking great. We have about $125 in funds right now. I need to get about another $75 to $100 in there, and we'll be able to finish doing what we need to do to the garden. There's a lot of mulch. We need about 40, 50 bags of mulch, and that's a bunch, plus dirt, plus some plants. So there's an envelope up at the desk at the front office. If you would be so kind as to drop a buck or two in there, that would help us out. And as soon as we get the funds, which I would like to have by this weekend, we'll be able to start working on the garden and making it beautiful for spring. Over.
I thought it looked pretty good as it is.
Okay, garden, our resident green thumb Jim. Please make some contributions and contribute some labor. That's always a help. Very good. Any other announcements? Come now, please.
Nope, no more announcements, I guess. Pardon the noise in the background, folks. I'm
Last
making
call for
breakfast.
announcements.
You'll hear some pots clanging and stuff. French toast this morning.
Okay, we're going to move on to comments, questions, and need of help. Come now, please.
This lady.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part. Something lady, go.
Hey, this is Gracious Lady. I'm looking for a Samsung cord for an Eclipse.
Samsung cord for an Eclipse.
Anybody out there got a Samsung charging cord for an Eclipse? And do you need the AC cube for that, by the way?
Gracious Lady, no, and we're just looking to borrow it. Blue Moon,
Go ahead, Blue Moon.
are you talking a USB cord? I guess so. Whatever you plug in, we have like a universal that's not charging it, and the guy said that we need an actual Samsung cord to charge our pad. Okay, I have a tablet, but they're usually either USB or USB cords, and I have one of each. If you want to come over, we're on R7, Romeo 7. I'll be glad to hook you up. Yes, we're going fishing after the net, so can we stop by after the net? Sure thing. Thank you very much. Over.
Okay, Samsung charging cord found. Hope it works out. Any other comments, questions, people need help?
Pelican?
Come again, please.
Pelican?
Pelican, go.
Hey, I'm in search of a dinghy patch. I just got this dinghy and I'm trying to fix it up so I can easily get to and from shore, and I was wondering if anyone in the harbor can help me out.
You looking for a patch or a patch kit or glue or everything? And also, is it PVC or Hapalon?
Right, yeah, I just need the patch, and it's Hapalon.
Nope, don't have any, unfortunately.
Nothing heard on a Hapalon patch. But also, by the way, how big do you think you're going to need that patch?
Pretty small. It doesn't need to be very big at all. Any scrap patch material would help a lot.
For Elise.
For Elise, go.
Yeah, I got a patch kit.
Meet up with you after the net?
Certainly, yes. For Elise, I'm in the Burdines Marina.
Do that.
Did you copy the location for your patch material? Over.
Yeah, copy that.
Very good. Patch found. Comments, questions? People need help. Go. Well, it looks like I'm going to have a short net today. All right, so last call. Comments, questions? People need help.
Serafina.
Serafina, go.
Yeah, I have a little bit of confusion. Replacing my propane valve on my aluminum cylinder, and some folks are telling me that there's a difference between a marine grade propane valve and a regular valve. I haven't been able to find a marine grade valve online, and I was wondering if anybody knew if there was a difference. Over.
Lady Tran. Morning, Don. What do you got for the propane?
As far as I know, there's only one kind of valve. You know, I mean, they have one if your tank lays down or your tank stands straight up, but that's the only two differences as far as I know. I don't think there's any difference between a marine and a regular valve. That's just what I've seen through the years.
Christy.
Christy, go.
In general, the difference between marine grade items and standard grade items is the marine grade items cost 3 times as much.
Yeah, go buy it at an RV store. Have you tried the folks across the street there at Margas as far as this issue goes?
Serafina.
Go ahead, Serafina.
Yeah, when I was trying to get my tank filled originally, and he said I need a new valve, I went over there, asked him if he had one and could put one in, and he said negative. Over.
Well, after that, and then they're probably going to want the tank to be certified as well. Anybody got the information on I believe there's a place down in Big Pine that does certification. They may be able to help out with this repair.
3 penny opera?
Yes, Addison.
Don't know about Big Pine. They used to do work down there, but Serafina, if I have a spare valve here, it's not for sale, but if you want to have a look at it and see if it meets your spec, I can tell you where I got it.
Serafina.
Go, Serafina.
Up to the net, I'll come by. You're right up next to me. Thank you very much.
Propane valve solved. Okay, let's go again with comments, questions. People need a help desk.
Lady Tran.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, I think it's Amerigas up around, it's Key Largo, Tavernier, somewhere up in there. They do the valve replacements. I know you got to really have your ducks in a row to replace a valve in them, to hold them and tighten them up right. And I think, it's almost special tool time. I've tried to pull them out before. I mean, Addison might know how to do it better than me, but I know they replace them up island.
Serafina, go.
Rolando and Marcella lent me a tool to remove the valve, which I strapped it to something up in the parking lot and was able to get it loose. And my tank was recertified a couple of years ago. I just need to find the proper valve, make sure I got the right valve to reinstall it, and I have that same tool will reinstall it. So thank you very much.
All right, well, it sounds like you have a plan there, Serafina. All right, let's go ahead continue with comments, questions. People need help.
Island time.
Yes, Rick.
Well, I thought this might go in a different section, but sounds like this is where I need to ask. I am in need of a Raymarine ST60 Plus depth gauge, the readout panel, and I'm hoping there's somebody that's upgraded and might have a spare around. I really don't want to pay $350 for one, so I'm hoping somebody's got a Raymarine ST60 Plus depth gauge. Anybody got one? Over.
Serafina, go.
I have a few Raymarine gauges. I'm not sure if it's a depth gauge or not. I will look through my stuff later in the day and get back with Rick. Over.
Good job.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Rick. I stepped on you a little bit there, I think. So Serafina's got some Raymarine gauges. One thing, too, on that, if you just have a depth gauge, Rick, and he happens to have, say, a tri-data, which is depth, speed, temperature, I believe.
Yeah, that would work.
You should be able to make that work for just depth only. Copy that?
Very good. Thank you both.
Sorry, guys, we're getting pumped out right now, so I may get a little shaky here for a moment.
Yes, good morning. I have an ST60 Raymarine. Just put my Garmin in. I actually have like find ways to get depth on my boat now. But yeah, I'm going to be getting rid of some gauges. I was going to sell it as a whole unit, through hull and gauge itself. It looks fairly new. It's silver. Not the old Elva now. Yes, it's a Ray Marine. I have it. Thank you.
I'll be in touch.
Sorry about the noise, folks.
Yeah,
Getting my
sounds like a
septic
good
pumped out.
connection.
It's my
And,
turn right
hey,
now.
By the way, Rick, it never
You can
hurts
see
to
him
have a spare
right there. Obviously, you
sounder.
watched him
Get
pull
while
up.
you can, because, like you say, if you search for them online, you're going to get some pretty high prices. All right, very good. Another connection made. Any other comments, questions, people in need of help? Come now.
Salt shaker.
All right.
Yeah, I'm in need of to borrow or rent a fine tool. F-E-I-N. It's reciprocating saw. Anybody have one?
Joe's boat.
You got one of those saws?
I don't have a fine, but I have a Dremel does the same thing. Tell him to stop by this morning. I'll let him look at it if he wants to borrow it.
Thank you.
Here.
All right.
Yeah, I copied that, Joe's boat. What mooring are you on?
I'm on K10, just the other side of the bucket list.
Oh, Mike, yes. K8, I'll be over.
Yeah, you're on K8. Any other comments, questions, people in need of help?
Gallowag.
Yes, Mike.
Good morning there. I just tuned in, and I'm not sure if anybody had announced the envelope behind the counter for Gypsy this morning, so I was just putting that out there.
No, nobody did announce that this morning, so thank you for that, Mike. Donation envelope up the counter for Gypsy. Defer some expenses there. Very good. Any other comments, questions, people in need of help? Come now. Yes, Jim.
Yeah, I understand Gypsy got back into the harbor last night, so welcome back, Gypsy.
Thank you very much.
There she is. Awesome. That clicking you hear, folks, is applause. That's the way to applause on a VHF radio. You click, 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 click. A lot of people like Gypsy. She's a special lady. They're still clicking.
Well, as you can see, you're welcome back, and everyone's wishing you a speedy recovery. So, welcome back. Any other comments, questions, people in need of help?
This is Gallowag.
Yes, Mike.
I totally missed that. Was that Gypsy?
Roger that.
All right, cheers. Welcome back.
All right, do we have any other comments, questions, people in need of help?
Sam Tam.
Sam Tam?
Yeah, I'm over here at the dinghy docks. I got a gas line on my truck that's leaking fuel, and I need one of those little screwdriver, nut driver things that'll fit a hose clamp. Not really sure, but if anybody's got like a little set of sockets and one of those little screwdriver drivers that I can borrow for a few minutes, I'd appreciate it.
Scallowag.
Go, Mike.
I'm sure I got something of that nature. Come on over.
10 Roger, I'm at the dinghy docks. I'll be out there in a little bit.
10-4. Bring the hose clamp with you so we can size it.
10 Roger. I'm pretty sure I know what size it is, but I'll bring it with me anyway. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, Operation Fuel Line in process. Any other comments, questions, people in need of help? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the chandlery. Buy, sell, trade, giveaway, lost and found. What you got to sell?
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, go.
Nothing to sell, but a gentleman the other day was looking for packing material, and I received a package and got a bunch of the bubble stuff. It's fairly large, like 1 inch by 2 inch little pillows. Is anybody wanting that? If not, it'll be thrown away today.
Threepenny Opera.
Go ahead, Addison.
That was me looking for the packing material. Thank you very much, but I have everything packed and shipped off.
Roger that.
Hey, buy-sell trade, giveaway lost and found.
Island time.
Go ahead, Rick.
I've got a couple of things. I've got a 5 to 16 foot telescoping fishing outrigger. I'll let go for $100. I've got a couple of 9-inch fenders. I'll let go for $15 a piece. I've got a small tackle box, 8 by 8 by 14 inches, just $5. And I've got a 12-foot diameter Paratech sea anchor. It's useful on a boat about 30 to 40 feet. I'll let it go for $400. And I have a found kayak paddle that still haven't gotten an owner for. And if you've lost one, get a hold of me, and you should have put your name on it. And just a reminder to the lady with the bubble wrap, that goes in the trash, not in the recyclables, because it gums up the works. Over.
All right, very good. Sea anchor. I wonder how many people actually know how to use those things. Anyhow, buy-sell trade, giveaway lost and found. Come now.
Mendocino Queen uses them and uses them often in heavy weather.
Very good. Maybe we're going to have a seminar on that, because I'm pretty sure most people don't know how to use them. Anyhow, buy-sell trade, giveaway lost and found. Come now.
Seahorse.
Poco Loco. I had Seahorse first and then Poco Loco. Seahorse, go.
Yes, I have a ICOM, VHF Marine Radio Telephone, model IC-M80. It does power up. Don't have a coax to it, so I'm not sure if it works. But I'm giving it away. Anybody that wants it, and I'm on Papa 5, and I'll be standing by 6-8 after the net.
Three VHF.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm sorry, who was next in line for buy-sell trade giveaway?
Poco Loco.
Go, Poco Loco.
Morning net, morning controller. Something different this morning. I have a storage box, plastic storage box. Size is about 18 inches wide, 19 inches high, and about 36 inches long. And it has 4 flat rollers on the bottom, so you can move it around by rolling it with the lid. I'd like to get maybe $15 for it, and it's up at my vehicle in the parking lot, so anybody that wants to look at it, call me or come by Tango 4, but we'll have to go up there. Thank you.
Okay, rolling storage box. Any other buy-sell trade giveaway lost and found? Come now.
For Elise.
For Elise.
Yeah, I pulled a little paddle boat. Looks like it's been in the mangroves for a year. And I took it out yesterday to the beach and scraped it off. It's actually in pretty good shape. A couple little cracks, but anyway, if anybody owns it, they're welcome to it. Otherwise, I'm thinking I would put a trolling motor on, electric trolling motor on it, and use it in my canal in my backyard. So if anybody's got a trolling motor or wants to come claim their paddle boat, either way, I'm on for a lease in Bird Heights.
Found paddle boat. I think I saw you telling that thing yesterday. Yeah, like Rick says, put your name on your stuff. That way it can be found. Moving along, more buy-sell trade, giveaway, lost and found.
Scallywag.
Yes, Mike.
Just putting it out there again in case anybody finds it. We are missing an infant's life jacket. Babe's life jacket flew off the other day, about 2 days ago. It's yellow, and we'd like to see it back. If anyone finds it, cheers.
Get out of there. Go ahead.
Lost baby's life jacket. Where do you think you lost it, and where do you think it might have drifted to?
I'm pretty sure it went over to mangroves at some North Anchorage over here. Yeah, so yeah, the wind's been blowing in the same direction, so it could be anywhere over there.
Yep. Infant's life jacket, yellow. Keep an eye out for it. Buy-sell trade, giveaway, lost and found. Come now.
Mendocino Queen.
Mendocino Queen.
Jerry on Poco Loco loaned me a battery load tester device, and it did not give me the readings I wanted. So if anybody has a battery testing device that always reads your battery is good, I would like to borrow that. Over.
Lady Triana.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I can probably drop that by in just a minute.
Copy that, Mendocino Queen.
Got it.
Alright, battery tester delivery services. Any more buy-sell trade, giveaway, lost and found. Come now, please.
Kit?
I got Kit first.
Yeah, Mendocino Queen, if you want your batteries to read good all the time, by all means, don't check them.
Is that kind of like a watched pot never boils? Any more buy-sell trade, giveaway, lost and found.
Yeah, for a lease.
For a lease, go.
Yeah, if, I guess as Mike that lost an infant life jacket, I've got a couple on board if you want to borrow one.
Did you copy that, Mike? Alright, For Release has infant life jackets for loan to you, Mike, on Scallywag, if you're still there. Any more buy-sell trade, giveaway, lost and found. Relevance, go.
Yeah, good morning. Back to Scallywag. You go get a new life jacket for your little baby Bay. I will pay for it. So don't fret. Over.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Can I have a little relay?
Relevance said if you just go and buy a new life jacket for the baby, he'll spring for it.
Oh boy, yeah, that's so very, very kind of you. We actually have a backup, but we were just hoping to find the old one. Thank you.
Relevance.
Go ahead, Relevance.
Yeah, Scallywag, I'm right here by the office door, and I see Tony all the time. So, again, don't fret. Just come on over here, and I'll take care of it. Over.
10-4, thank you so kindly.
Oh, isn't that nice? All right, we're still on buy-sell trade, giveaway, lost and found. Come now.
Tailspin?
I think that was Tailspin.
Yeah, Tailspin.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just looking for, maybe in the treasures of the bilge, I'm looking for old, used, I think the Americans call them chocks, we call them fair leads. So your rope comes from the cleat through them to the dock. Any kind of chock or fair lead you might have that you don't want anymore in the bilge. And or a really old bow roller or small bow roller. Anything at all you've replaced, you may have been keeping it as a spare, but you want to sell it. Thanks.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, you might try that rigging shop right across from Publix up here. There's they have a lot of used hardware in there.
Salesman.
Go.
Thanks. Yes, I did check already. I'll keep checking. Nothing for me there. Just in case anybody comes across. I'm on YouTube anytime on Sextate after the net or any day. Thanks.
Yeah. What about the? What's the name of the consignment shop up there on what is it, Tavernier?
It's at the end of if you go down by past Skipjack's and all the way down the canal to Publix, down that end. It's right across the street from Publix, right in that strip row of buildings there.
Yeah, that's Keys Rigging. He's already checked with them. I'm thinking of, and I just thought of it, it's Mother Ocean, and I think that's up on Tavernier or something like that. It's a consignment shop. You probably find it there.
Gracious lady.
Gracious lady, go.
Yeah, Mother Ocean's is up at right when you come onto the Keys. They relocated up in Key Largo. Like mile marker way up there. It's right near John Camp State Park, almost directly across the.
All right, I didn't quite copy all of that. You were breaking up quite a bit, but you said that Mother Ocean has moved up to Key Largo. Is that correct? Over.
Yeah, straight across from John Pennekamp State Park.
Very good.
Airborne.
Airborne, go.
Just to remind everybody, at least bulletin that came out, there's going to be supposedly a giant flea market up at Esmeralda this weekend, put on by the Rotary Club.
Okay, a nautical flea market on Almirada. Does anybody have any further information on that?
I do too.
Good morning, Fred. What you got?
Yeah, it's Saturday and Sunday. It's at mile marker 87. They're looking for a $5 entry donation per person. And I think Saturday is 8 till, 5 or so, and Sunday is a little later. There's a pancake breakfast on Saturday as well.
Wow, Fred, thanks. That's a lot of good information on this flea market. Tasman, did you copy that? That might be a good resource for you.
Find transportation to get there.
Roger that. All right, but anyhow, let's just go ahead and move on. Any more buy-sell trade giveaway lost and found?
Island time.
Eric.
Yeah, you can ride the bus up there. You catch the bus at in front of Kmart to get there. And another thing about it's a huge swap meet, the biggest one in the Keys down here. So it's well worth going to. And a note about Keys Rigging. Inside their door, just to your right, there is a rack there that has used parts on it. Most of those parts, or I should say many of those parts anyway, are free if you need them, because they don't like to sell used stuff because of liability. So if you really need the stuff, ask them about it and see what they've got, and it might be free. Over.
Scalawag.
Go ahead, Mike.
They also like beer over there. Case of beer, you'd be surprised what you get. Cheers.
The old barter system. Very good. Good information. Free if you need it parts. Moving on. More buy-sell trade giveaway lost and found.
For Elise.
For Elise, go.
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment on the Alamorada flea market or swap meet. It's a monumental swap meet, and there is monumental traffic. It took me like 2 hours to get through there, just passing through
a couple of years ago. So, you know, you might want to give a heads up to anybody coming down to visit you or something like that to not do it in the daytime.
Like a popular event. All right, I think let's give one more buy-sell trade giveaway, lost and found.
This is Callaway.
Go ahead, Mike.
Quick question. I'm going to have to tear out here soon to get Tony in. But anyway, are you going to be around Postnet? Because I'll bring you that anchor win list.
Mike, who are you talking to?
Sorry, I thought this was Miss Marilyn. I'll give him a call on the phone. You sound so much like him.
What did I ever do to deserve that? Just kidding. Captain Sandy. All right, buy-sell trade giveaway, lost and found. Last call. All right, let's move on to trivia. Who's going to stump the harbor this morning? Come now, trivia.
Francis Lee.
Francis Lee, go.
Good morning, Harbor. An invasion recently occurred in the town of Lochringen, Germany. Can you tell me about that invasion? Over.
Echoes.
It's the annual frog invasion.
Negative. Over.
Do we have any other guesses on the question? I'm not hearing any responses. Any possible hints there?
It starts with an S, as in Sam. Over.
Ryan.
Luke Hine, go.
Skiers starts with S.
That would be a negative. Over.
Snail.
Is it snails?
Negative. Over.
Island time.
Go ahead, Red.
Spiders and snakes.
Negative. Over.
Zara. I didn't quite catch the name, but go ahead.
Zara. Sloth. Negative. Over.
Otter 2.
Slugs.
Otter 2. Go ahead.
These would be little blue smurfs.
Come again. Over.
Could they be little blue smurfs?
Yes, they are right. Invaded by Smurfs. Over.
Maybe I didn't listen close enough to the question. What was the question again?
The town of Lochringen, Germany, was just faced an invasion recently. It was invaded by Smurfs for a worldwide convention. Over.
Okay, I got it now. Smurfs. Very good. That's what you look like after you see on your bottom, right? Any other trivia?
Chicken nugget.
Chicken nugget, go.
All right. What was the stage name of New York-based rapper Christopher Wallace?
Anybody got a guess on the rapper's stage name for Christopher Wallace's stage name?
Echoes.
Nancy May.
We got echoes first.
Sweet Christine says Notorious Big. I have no clue.
Ding, 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 ding. Winner.
Notorious B.I.G. Okay, 2 for the harbor. Do we have any other trivia?
Nancy May.
Morning, Tony, go.
Good morning, sir. Let's go ahead and add on to this trivia.
Yes, Notorious B.I.G., but he also has a second stage theme that he's known for. Does anyone know that one? No Agenda.
No Agenda.
Biggie Smalls. Auntie Mae, ding, ding, ding. Hey, rest in peace.
All right. The harbor's on fire. Any other trivia? Come now, please.
Island time.
Go ahead, Rick.
Root beer's been around a long time. When was the first root beer mass-produced and marketed in the United States?
Echoes.
Echoes, go.
Was it shortly after the crown cap was invented in 1888?
No, sir. It was actually a little before that.
Gracious lady.
Gracious lady.
I'm guessing at 1879.
I'm going to give it close enough. 1876 by Charles Hires at the Philadelphia Centennial Celebration. But it wasn't until 1893 that they first marketed it in bottles. Over.
Root beer. Hires root beer. I remember that. Not really too popular root beer anymore. All right. Harbor's still on the streak. Any other trivia?
Blue Cayenne.
Go ahead, Michelle.
What does WD-40 stand for?
No Agenda.
Can I get? No Agenda came in first.
Water displacement.
That's the WD. What's the 40 for?
Moontide.
40th try making it.
Moontide, go.
It's their formula number 40, the 40th formula when they're trying to develop it.
Very good. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I think we've heard that one before, but it's always a goodie. All right, Harbor's still on a streak. Let's do another trivia. Go ahead, Rick.
When was the first soda fountain patented in the United States?
Nobody knows that.
Soda fountain in the United States. Where's our beer trivia guy? I would think he'd know that.
No
Any
response,
guesses? First soda fountain patented when?
What a guess?
Go ahead, Tony.
That's a wild guess, but... Oh, by the way, good morning, Harbor. Brett, could it possibly been in the 1920s? Or sooner or earlier?
You're off by about a century.
Yeah, I'd think something like 1805 or something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Any guesses? Sometime, I guess, in the 1800s.
Close enough. 1819.
1819,
A man
okay.
named Samuel Fonstock. And I guess Rick on Echoes didn't know that because beer doesn't come out of a soda fountain. It comes out of a beer keg spigot.
All right, so you got the Harbor there, Rick. So one for the trivia askers. All right, well, let's move on to final business. Does anybody have any final business?
Airborne question.
Go airborne.
Somebody mentioned that the bus runs up to Esmeralda on the weekend, but does it also go to Key West?
Auntie Mae?
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, sir, actually, I do work in Almirada, and I do take that bus. No, there are two bus lines. One for Key West called, somebody help me on that one, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, There's one that comes from Key West through Marathon back to Key West, and then there's also one at the Kmart. Both buses stop at the Kmart right across US 1, and that one heads up to the mainland, which is the one I take. That one is $2.65 break. And the bus schedules for both buses are posted up at Tom Thumb. And of course, you can also check it out online as well. So, yeah, there's your answer.
There you go.
All right, well, thanks. Do you know if it goes to Key West on the weekend?
Well, yeah, there's two buses. There's one that goes from Key West through here and back to Key West. And then there's a second bus that goes from Marathon up to the mainland.
On time.
Exactly.
The answer is absolutely yes. And in fact, on the second Saturday of the month, the bus is free to Key West for seniors. So that's something to work around.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yep, thanks.
Blue Moon.
Yeah, Blue Moon.
Just info, we just took the bus to Key West yesterday. If you're over 60, it's only $1. Even when you do got to pay, it's only $1 if you're over 60.
3-penny offer?
Addison, go.
And there's an app that you can get online that will show you the exact arrival time of the bus at the bus stop.
Blue Moon. Seen that app. Somebody was using it when I was on my way back a couple of months ago, and I hope it's improved because it was completely wrong at that time.
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, go.
I can confirm that. It is not terribly helpful, although you sometimes can see where the bus is located on the little bouncing ball on the online map, but no, it's not terribly helpful. It bounces around all over the place.
Anti-Mame? Yeah, Tim. Yeah, I tried that app. It's not consistent. You don't even bother with it.
Mendocino Queen?
Go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, but the schedule's pretty good. Basically, we go across to the what's that, stuffed pig restaurant, or actually in front of the elementary school at about 10:25. We go about 10:15 in case he's early, but he always seems to show up at 10:25, and you're down to Key West by noon.
Anti-Mame? Yeah, Tim. Yeah, Kate, I agree with you. That bus line is a lot more consistent than the one I take. The closest bus stop is right across the street from Walgreens. Right across the street from Walgreens. The southbound bus stop is over by the Stuffed Pig, a couple of 100 feet west of there, actually, on the opposite side of the highway, and I agree with Kate on Mendocino Queen. They have a schedule, and they keep to it very well. You also have to remember, though, that you have to remind them to let you off where you want to get let off, because if you don't, they'll drive right by it.
Blue Moon.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah, about the swap meet up there this weekend. It is huge, and it is really going to mess up the bus schedule through that section. They may be 2 or 3 hours late. And if you're going to go up in a car, I would suggest parking this side of the park up there and walking quite a ways so you're not caught in the traffic so you can get back. If you park on the other side, you're going to have to wait for everybody to come through. Park this side or short of it this way. Over.
Blue Moon.
Yeah, hang on a second there, Blue Moon. I have a question about that. Good point, Rick. Is the highway just 2 lanes up there where this fairgrounds is, like it is down in Big Pine?
Oh, I couldn't swear to that, but it's totally congested. It really stops traffic. This thing is huge, so it really messes traffic up for miles. Over.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what I've seen at their little flea market or, swap meet down here in Big Pine and how it messes up the traffic there. If this thing's that big, wow, it sounds like a real pain. But, hey, some people like that. Blue Moon, go.
Roger, I can confirm that Islamorada bus schedule is pretty wacky. Coming back a couple of years ago, we were out on the road, out the bus stop for several hours. It was well after dark, probably 10 p.m., but they did come by. It's just a matter of waiting long enough. And regarding the bus schedule to the Keys, the lower Keys shuttle, yes, it's pretty good going south early in the morning. Coming back from Key West, though, it's not terribly reliable. and you just have to be patient.
Well, roger that. I have experience in that area as well. Going south is always pretty easy. Coming back, you have to be careful not to be too late. And one thing I discovered when I first started coming down here 4 years ago is I always get the bus that I want to take back. I get it at the post office, which is the very first stop on the line north, because they get up to the top of Key West and they run out of room. You're out of luck. Any more final business?
Moontide.
Moontide?
Yeah, just like most cruiser areas, I've noticed that Marathon also suffers from periodic epidemics of drifting dinghies or other floating devices that want to do walkabouts. And a lesson I learned a long time ago the hard way is whenever I'm leaving my dinghy for a period of time, I always tie 2 lines to 2 different places on the dinghy and 2 different places on the boat. And that seems to reduce its tendency to go wandering. So just a little idea for people who lose their things every once in a while.
Anthony Mame.
Speaking of the dinghy loser.
Well, I'm pretty much famous. Ask Down, he'll tell you. I'm famous for losing my kayak. And yes, I did learn the hard way. I lost my dinghy the other day. I don't understand. I type out lines, but obviously I was probably in a different level of thinking, if you know what I mean. And so that's how that happened. But yeah, definitely I did 2 lines, and I've never had a problem unless I have one of those little moments. And also, Lower Keys shuttle, that's $4 if you're under 60.
Yep, never say never. You never know when your dinghy's going to break loose. Put two lines on it when we get really windy. Any other final business?
Traveler.
Anybody who's been through the Snake Creek Bridge in Islamorada recently, if you could stay on afterwards, I'd appreciate it and get some tips and local knowledge.
Snake Creek Bridge info after the net on 6-8. Any other final business?
Echoes.
Echoes.
If First Light is on the net this morning, I'd love to catch up with you after the net.
Yeah, I'll be standing by on 6-8.
All right, thank you. First Light Echoes will hail you on 6-8 after the net.
Any other final business?
Airborne.
Airborne.
Yeah, I would like to say this has been an informative and friendly discussion this morning.
Yeah, I missed yesterday's net. Anybody any other final business?
It was a great net, Kevin. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope I didn't sound too stiff. I'm kind of new at this. Todd was doing a really good job. Appreciate the compliment, though. All right, if there's no other final business, let's go about our day. Last call, final business.
Moontide with a quick question.
No, Moontide.
We're thinking wandering down by boat, and just wondering if there's any place near the swap meet where you can get on shore in a dinghy.
Go down.
What swap meet are we talking about?
The Islamorada one.
Christy, go.
Yeah, that's at Founders Park on Tavernier. And if you're on the bay side, I've anchored right off the shore there. There's a little beach. They don't allow motorized vessels, but if you rowed your dinghy in or took a kayak in, you can pull up on the beach there.
Moontide.
Go.
Yeah, we're not bridge friendly, so we'll have to be either anchoring on the ocean side or take the dinghy under the bridge and around. But that's a possibility. We actually remember how to row every once in a while.
Christy,
go.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a dinghy ride, but I think you can go through Snake Creek and then turn to the north there and end up in that same basin, if I remember right.
Thank you much.
Any other final business?
Island time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick reminder, anybody that missed it, we will have a meeting at Burdine's dinghy dock at 5:30 this evening. People concerned and willing to help improve our harbor and marina. Over.
Thank you for that, Rick. All right, I'm gonna call a close to the Cruiser's Net. It's about an hour into it, so thank you very much for your participation. Any other contacts need to be made on 6-8. Now's your time to go. The Cruiser's Net is now clear.
Well, there you go, folks. There's the Cruiser's Net here in Boot Key Harbor. I hope you enjoyed watching that, or listening to it anyway. I mean, it's radio, so not like there's much to look at. I try to aim my camera out so you can at least see the coming and goings here in the harbor and enjoy that. But anyhow, hope you enjoy me live streaming the Boot Key Harbor Cruiser's Net. I try to do it as often as I can. Not as often as some people would like, I guess, but as often as I can. So I hope you enjoyed that. Anyhow, if you wanted me to continue doing this, please, in the description down below, there's a link to my PayPal account. Jump in there and throw some bucks our way to help fund this and pay for my Wi-Fi and all that, so I can continue doing it. I also will point out to you in the link in the description down below, there is a link to PayPal, where if you open a new PayPal account and put $40 in there, PayPal will give you an additional $20. And they also give me $20 for asking you to do that. So go to PayPal, set up a new account for yourself, put 40 bucks in there. You'll make a 50% return on your investment immediately, because they'll give you another 20 bucks and they'll give me 20 bucks. So that'll help us out. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the net. Please do like and subscribe. Hit the bell for updates when we do these again. And we will have more for you guys later. I'll be doing my usual live stream tonight, 7 o'clock. So hopefully